Hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome back to the Direct Action Gaming channel. My name is Sean, and we are picking right back up where we left off with Fallout the board game. But first, before we get too deep into the gameplay here, I'm going to do a bit of shameless self-promotion at the beginning of each video. Shouldn't take more than a few minutes. I just want to plug my Ko-fi. That's a Ko-Fi. If anybody wants to support the channel by donating to help the channel grow and get a little bit better, then you can go there to do that. The link for my Ko-fi account will be in the description, and you will find a gallery there that I am trying to keep up to date of all the things that I paint. So that's one neat little thing that's there that you can check out. So beyond that, there's also my Blue Sky account that I started not too long ago, and I'm kind of liking. It's nice. It's probably how Twitter used to be, maybe in a sense, I guess. But yeah, I'm using it to just sort of post pictures of stuff that I'm working on, and sometimes it's a bit of a stream of a consciousness type thing where I'm just, talking about stuff that I'm thinking about, or just posting cute cat pictures. Let me enunciate for y'all. Anyway, Ko-fi and Blue Sky. That's pretty much it. Okay. On with the show then. All right. So there's a couple things that I didn't really make clear last time. I don't think there's a few mistakes that I made, so we're going to try to clear that up before we get into the game all that much. I'm sure I'll probably make a few more mistakes and be uncertain about some other things, but here we go. First of all, I didn't really talk about how XP works exactly. Like, you gain XP for doing things, but this is where the special letters come in that I talked about last time, right? So when you level up, you will get more special letters. You started with 2. Now, your XP kind of starts here off of the track. When you get XP, you'll go 1, 2. You'll just sort of bounce along the special letters that you do have, right? So, it's kind of like your standard RPG where it's easier to level up in the beginning, but it's going to take longer the more special letters you start to accrue, right? So it will take longer to level up later on, but we will have more reroll options for combat. And that's the next thing that I need to get to. I don't think I really talked an awful lot about these dice and how they work. Yeah, you can probably see that well now, right? So this is what I was talking about last time. There's a little VATS man on it, but there's also these little pips, these little dots next to the man, right? So what this particular side of this dice represents is the player getting 2 hits at once in 2 specific areas, actually maybe 3. Like, arms, chest, and legs are all lit up here, right? So that's where you hit there. But the 2 little dots next to the man, that represents hits that the enemy got on you, right? So now, when you're doing skill tests with these die, it's these little pips that matter, not the little parts on the little man, right? So if you're doing a skill test, you want lots of these little pip hits to, pass the test, and we'll probably see that at some point, but that's how these dice work. You can determine who got how many hits and yada 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 pretty quickly with these die. And the rerolls come in handy because you only roll 3 of these, and you may want to strategically re-roll some of them, because if you're facing a level 3 enemy and you get 6 enemy hits, that would probably kill you in 1 hit, pretty much. So you may want to re-roll some things in that instance. Then I might as well talk about the enemy tokens a little bit. See if y'all can see that. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit last time. There's like, you can see a number. There's a level for each enemy. It'll show you the weakness of that enemy. So like with the Super Mutant Brute, you can only hit them in the chest. Those are the only hits that matter for the Super Mutant Brute. And then in the lower, I don't know if you can see that very well, but in the lower right corner, there's like these little attributes that each enemy has. So for the Super Mutant Brute, they have loot and aggressive, and both of those mean something. We've already encountered loot, because when I killed that, let me start the timer actually for 30 minutes. Here we go. When I killed that regulator last time, I did get loot for killing that regulator, but I also got 2 XP because that regulator was level 2. This means we have almost leveled up. Our Intrepid Vault Dweller only needs 1 more XP point, and he will have leveled up to level 2, meaning we will get to pick 1 extra special letter at random to have another potential reroll at some point. So that's nice. Another thing I think I kind of messed up on last time is I moved twice and ended up here, but I completely forgot that like there are certain sections of the map that like do certain effects, and this particular section below the raider camp is basically a mountain, and it has this red symbol in the corner that means this is difficult terrain. So the deal with that is every time you do a move action, and remember you only get 2 actions per turn, each move action will give you 2 movement points. Now what's interesting is you can do another action in the middle of a movement action. So for example, like if I wanted to move here, I could do that and then also flip this, and if this wasn't difficult terrain, I could move onto the thing that I just flipped. But this difficult terrain means it takes your entire movement action to move into those hills. So I either have to go around or spend 1 entire movement action to just go into those hills, pretty much. That's how that works. So I wasn't here when the regulator shot me. I was over there, I guess. Oops. Anyway, beyond all that, that's all the corrections that we need to make for now. Let's just get on into it and see what we got going on here. Okay, so we have 3 new objectives on the map. Really more like 2. There's Resonance, and there's also Flesh and Bone. Now, Resonance is, I think, a continuation of, like, the main quest, more or less. It says you tear the person apart, but they look to be flesh and blood. Messy among their effects, however, is a transponder marked within the Vitruvian Man, the words "The Institute," and coordinates to the old ruins of the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Okay, so now our options are to either, let's see, follow the coordinates and explore the CIT ruins to find the Institute, wherever the heck that is, or just sort of go to Diamond City. We already know where Diamond City is, so we might as well go there. I was already on the way there, but now we can't just be there. We also have to be there and spend 4 caps, which means we would have to start some type of settlement encounter, and we'd get to see how that works. Okay. So the other one is Flesh and Bone. It says at the top, the locals are in an uproar. A young girl named Olivia has been run out of her home for being a synth. She says that if someone could just find her sister, she could prove false these ridiculous claims that she is some kind of robot. All right. And it says add 135, which 135 is basically like what you'd use if you went for one of these options. Because there's 2 options here, right? We can either do a settlement encounter, more or less, to interrogate Olivia, or we could go to a wasteland location and do an encounter there to try and find Olivia's sister. So when we go to the wasteland, we're going to go to 135 to look at the options for what happened when we tried to find Olivia's sister. Okay, so we can decide how we want to handle that. And really, at the moment, I am standing on a wasteland marker. It's got a little 3 next to it, and that does mean something, mostly for, like, if you get loot rewards from an encounter, like, it'll say, you know, wasteland symbol times X or something. The 3 is how much loot I would get from that. So, anyway, we could decide to just do an encounter right here at this wasteland to look for Olivia's sister. Or, I kind of think instead of doing that, I might want to just spend one movement action, one entire movement action to go into those hills and then do one explore action, and I guess that would be my turn for now. So we're going to do an explore action here to get a little bit closer to Diamond City. So this is Highway 74. There is also a wasteland symbol there, and there are no enemies. So we don't have anything popping out at us from here. We do have some, aside from difficult terrain, which there is some here on Highway 74, there's also rad zones. So when you walk into a rad zone, you take 1 hit of rad damage. Now, another thing I should probably clarify is that there is technically a way to die in this game if you take enough rad damage that your character can't actually heal when you go back to Crossroads Camp, when you spawn back there, then you are kind of dead. Like, that's you dying. So yeah, rad damage is kind of bad. Don't take on too much of that. Alright, so that's what we've done for this turn. Since it's the end of the turn, what we do now is we take one of these agenda cards and we see what, if anything, activates and moves towards our intrepid vault dweller, whose name we do not know. Because he is a character archetype, I guess. That's what I have decided. Okay, we've got Star and Robot, which means it's only the robot that moves, really. And the way enemies move is they will move 1 space closer to whatever survivor is closest to them, and or whoever has the lowest health. None of that matters because we're doing solo, so all enemies are always going to move towards the Vault Dweller. And also, by the way, I tried using a slightly different camera angle here. I don't know if you noticed. It's a little bit closer because I was like, well, I went to all this trouble to paint these models, and if I got that camera really high up above the table, then you might not be able to see them. So, I don't know. I'm trying things. I'm trying new things out. Anyway, that is first turn over with, so now let's go to the next turn. We can take our Vault Dweller and do a move action. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. These are both difficult terrain. Okay. So I will have to use yet another entire move action to move here. And what I could do is move again and just stay here to be on this wasteland thing to try and look for Olivia's sister, or I could move 1, 2 and be right next to Diamond City. We should probably do that. 1, 2, here we are. Okay, so that was 2 actions. End of the turn again. So let's plop down another agenda card and see what it says. It says Star and Monster. We don't have any railroad agents and or monsters on the map at the moment, so nothing happens. Okay. Okay, well, let's just go for another turn then. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is move. Now we are in Diamond City. And now that we are in Diamond City, we can try to do a settlement encounter to see if we have the opportunity to shop and spend 4 caps. Because if we do that, then that's one of the requirements for this resonance quest. The text on it says, you have heard only bad things about the Institute at Diamond City. Caps may quickly get you the information you need. Okay. So let's pull a settlement encounter from the top here and see what it says. It says, several super mutants are being used as beasts of burden outside of town. Their masters are cruel, but the plots of Earth are ripe with well-tended crops. Well, just slavery right off the bat. Okay. It's a good thing I don't care about monetization very much on this channel, I guess, for now. We got 1, 2, 3. 1 is forced if you are a super mutant. So, like I was saying, the character archetypes do mean something, right? And usually it will mean something in relation to, like, these encounters. So the super mutant class will affect the game and blah 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 blah. We are not a super mutant though, so if we were though, it would say, looks like we got another one. The closest man shouts, running towards you, draw and fight. Well, you'd have to just kill everybody if you were a super mutant. Okay. Since we're not, though, our other 2 options are exploit the prosperity in the market. The food surplus has left the local merchants feeling far less stingy. So we can shop, +1, gain 1 cap for each sold. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. That means I'd get 3 caps for this astoundingly awesome Tales thing that I want to sell. It's 1 extra cap. Shop. It's saying settlement icon +1. I wonder if that means, like, I pull another asset card from the top. I'm pretty sure it means that. Oh, let's check. Too bad I'm still kinda fuzzy-ish on these rules. Encounter action. Encounter level. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I'm honestly not sure. This is what happened when me and my cousin were playing. This game is kind of neat, but, like, the rules are a little confusing sometimes, unfortunately. Just a tad. We are going to assume it means there's 1 extra thing for sale, and that if I sell something, well, I get an extra cap. And we pulled some combat armor, so there's that. I can't buy that, but I sure could afford some jet. What we also see is there's a companion here, McCready. Now, thankfully you can't, like, buy people, per se. You can recruit companions, and in the upper right corner of McCready's card here, we see a C. So that means, like, if your character has the charisma attribute, you can recruit McCready. Otherwise, nope. There's just nothing you can do here to get McCready unless you have the charisma attribute, which we don't. So, to fulfill this quest thingamajig, we're basically gonna have to buy some jets. That's the only thing I can afford. It costs 4 caps. We can also sell this astoundingly awesome tails thing. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though. Let's read this other option. The other option is to free the super mutants, and we would have to do one of those tests I was talking about earlier. It says SC4. Now what that means is we need to get 4 or above when we roll these die, or we need to get 4 or more of these little pips. But since it says SC, that means we only get to re-roll like anything if we have either strength or charisma. And we have neither of those, so we would have to get 4 or more little pips on the first roll. Otherwise we fail. And there's 2 things you might get depending upon whether you succeed or fail here. If we fail, we get kicked out of town, basically. So, if we succeed, we do get 2 XP. We add a new card. We get to shop. And we toss this one. Okay. I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to shop. So basically, we're going to get an extra cap for selling this magazine. We're going to sell it. I think that means we put this in the discard pile. We get 3 caps for selling it. So now we're at 8 caps. And we have exactly 4 caps now to just buy the jet. So we'll get rid of these 4 caps. Put the jet in our inventory. Okay. And yeah, that was our encounter. Super mutants are enslaved here at Diamond City. And we were just like, oh okay. I'd like to buy some drugs, please, is what we said. Yeah. All right. So, having done that, let's see. We now have completed this other thing for Resonance. We are at Diamond City, and we did spend 4 caps, which means the railroad agenda gets moved ahead a little bit. So star plus. And we get 2 loot, and we stage 19 and 67, and we trash this card. Okay. So we got to search for 19 and 67 to stage those. Okay, it says all hell. That's probably fine. 67? Yes, 67. It's gonna be towards the end here. Okay. Vault Rumors. Okay. Alright, so we put this card library back. We're going to take Resonance and put it in the box, because that one is done. Okay. I don't think it mentions us getting any XP for doing that, just 2 loot. So we need to draw those now, actually. 1 and 2. We're also going to have to throw something out here as well, because you only get to keep 3 cards in your inventory. So unless I could, actually equip one of these things, which I can't, I now have a magazine, 2 drugs, and just junk, which says aid. What does junk do? During your turn, you may discard this card and another junk card to gain one card of your choice from the shop or from the loot deck or cap discard piles. Okay, we're keeping the Mentance and we're throwing this one out. No junk for us, because I want to keep this magazine and these drugs, please. Cool. Alright, so that's our turn for now. So we're going to draw yet another agenda card and see what happens. We have the creature icon, meaning nothing moves yet again. Okay, cool, because there's no creatures on the map. Alright, so once again, we can decide what to do here. The new cards on the map here, we have All Hell and Vault Rumors. All Hell says, chaos erupts in the Commonwealth, stirred up by newcomers asking too many questions. The Institute accelerates their mysterious plans, and the Railroad responds in kind. Fights break out across the wasteland. Place star equal 2 survivors each on settlement icons, 1 per settlement icon, starting with the highest level. Place shield at each star. Okay. That means we need to put a shield and star over here by the railroad. And we need to put a star over here at Diamond City. And those are the only settlement icons we have available at the moment. Okay, so the options for this one are 1. Wipe out the railroad's agents in the wasteland. 2. Eliminate all the militarized since you have no other choice. Okay, so we either kill all the railroad people or all the Institute people, and if we do that, then a thing happens. We gain a lot of favor with the opposing faction, I guess. We get 3 XP. And we stage a few cards. That's what happens. Alright, and so the other one is Vault Rumors. Vault Rumors says, every year, new unfortunates appear out of the wasteland claiming to have been banished from an underground bunker made before the war by a company called Vault-Tec. Sounds familiar? Perhaps it is worth investigating. You don't say. Let's see. Options are 1. Kill a humanoid enemy. Kill any humanoid enemy. It says many of the Vault exiles are caught by raiders. You might be able to get something off of one of them. Option 2 is at any settlement spend 4 more caps. Great. So we could do another settlement encounter here in Diamond City. Let's see. It says, see if you find an old exile who will sell you information. Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. Since this railroad person just appeared... Alright. The deal with railroad members is that they are aggressive for some strange reason. That kind of doesn't make sense to me that the railroad is aggressive, but yeah, aggressive enemies, that means as soon as you move onto their tile, they will attack you. I kind of think that doesn't apply right now since the enemy just appeared and I haven't moved on this tile, so I'm going to say no, I don't get immediately attacked by this railroad member. But if I was to move on to Diamond City again, or if this railroad member moves into my tile, I immediately get attacked, basically. A fight has to happen if I or the railroad member cross paths, pretty much. So with that all in mind, what we're going to do now... Well, since we're at Diamond City, we could just do another settlement encounter. We could just do that. Let's do that. We'll draw another settlement encounter, and maybe I can shop again. Alright, so now it says, you pass several people in the settlement when you hear an angry voice. You stupid mutt. You look over in time to see a woman kicking her dog. Okay, so number 1 is forced if you are idolized. I am not. I don't have that trait. People don't feel about me any particular way. So we're not even going to bother to read that one for now. Number 2 is make this asshole stop. We're going to have to do a test. SC4. Or we could just say let it go and go shopping. You can hear the woman still cursing at the poor animal as you walk the other way. We could just shop and just ignore it. Or we could try to do something about it. I'm going to try to do something about it. I am a pet owner, and I do not like animal abuse, so even though the odds aren't great, we're going to try to do something about it. So let's see if I can get more than 4 little pips on the first roll. And I don't. I fail. I get 3, and there are no rerolls. So yeah. Fail says the woman turns her ire on you. You see the dog slip away as you get an earful. Okay, so Doggo leaves, the woman yells at me, and we add 13 to all the cards that are currently staged. Where is 13? Okay, lucky number 13. Okay. This one says, a whimpering dog wanders from person to person in the crowd. Once again, the top one is forced if you are idolized. I am not. I can attempt to befriend the dog. I can ignore the dog and go shopping. Well, I think we might try to befriend the dog later. I already did a test and I failed it. I still don't have charisma. We kind of need to go shopping for this other thing, so let's just go shopping for the Vault Rumors. Although we kind of can't go shopping, actually. I can't buy anything. I don't have enough caps to buy anything in the store. Oh, we got a sniper rifle, combat armor, and a Gek, and those are all awesome, but boy, they're also pretty gosh darn expensive, and I can't afford any of them. So I don't know. Let's try to befriend the dog. We'll see what happens. And then that'll be the end of the turn for now. Befriend the dog. And we do! This time we pass with flying colors. We get 5 pips. That will be the end of the turn. It says we get to shop once anyway when befriending the dog, but I can't. I can't shop. I can't buy anything. Oh wait, no. Okay. Succeed. While timid at first, the dog warms to you and begins following closely at your heels. Gain the dog meat, unique assets, and then trash. Okay. So we take the unique asset pile. We're going to look through this to see if we can find dog meat. And we get dog meat as a companion. Alright, so that's how that happens. And we take this card and throw it in the box. We don't need it anymore. Alright, so we have a companion now, dog meat. The card says, exhaust before a fight to ignore all ability icons on the enemy, which is kind of dope. But it also says, if you have an aid item, keep this companion when it unexhausts. Okay, so what this basically means is like, if I still have Dogmeat as a companion, I can do this exhaust thing, meaning I can turn Dogmeat on his side, which means I've used Dogmeat's little special ability. Dogmeat will remain exhausted until I do the camp action to unexhaust all my exhausted cards. If I exhaust Dogmeat in a fight, though, and I don't have an aid item, which I don't, then he's kind of gone forever. He just... Yeah, the companion is just gone. I guess I just put him back in the unique asset deck or something. I guess that kind of means, like, if you don't have a stim pack on you, but you send Dogmeat into a fight, he gets messed up, and then he can't come back. Alright, that's the timer. We're going to have to wrap this up. Yep, we're going to have to wrap this up. Cool, so we took a few turns there. That was cool. We got Dogmeat. That is the next episode, y'all. So I'm going to try to just record a bunch, do these little half-hour episodes, and then just sort of schedule them to go up every couple of days or so. That's the plan, at least so far. We're going to see how well that works out. So this was episode 2. I will see y'all in the next one. Take it easy.